Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Monday, we're right back to the top of the workshop looking at the top performing map at the moment, and it's this one. It's really very nicely done indeed. In fact, they've ticked all of the right boxes. It's one of those maps that you could play as a 9-tile map, or you could play it as an 81-tile map. You could play it for an aesthetically beautiful build, or a creative build, or a functional build. There's so many ways to go about doing this one, and the standards are pretty damn fine indeed, which when you consider
it's my first map,
is actually quite surprising. Now, there are one or two minor talking points, so if anybody's expecting a first timer to get an all-star map, you're not quite there today, but it is at the top end and one of the better maps that I've seen this year, so buckle up and get ready for the ride. But first of all, a little job for you to do. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Westport by Zimmy. Oh, Zimmy, Zimmy, Zimmy. I'm very impressed. Genuinely very impressed. Lots of good stuff going on today. Like that start square. Start square is absolutely on point. Plenty of buildable space. Hint of water. Looks good to me. The terrain heights look amazing. Absolutely look amazing. We have plenty of options for where to build across the map. The resources, it's mostly fertility. Fertility, yes. Get in there, my son. Fertile, I mean. And of course, if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, your fishing map is quite interesting too. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? It's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. Nicely written short description as well as a tree count of just over the minimum. So you're going to need tree anarchy, but that is listed in the requirements in the one-click collection here, which has got a really nice mix of trees. Really good tree mix today. Very happy with this one. Daylight Classics there. I've got the old version, but that's fine. It'll work fine for me. We've got a tree mix, a theme mix for Theme Mixer 2. Based around Aguil Vert, European farmlands, and not so rocky, and we'll be using the satellite LUT. If you've got intersection marking tool and no controller, you can even have the already pre-polished intersections as well, which we'll take a glance at later. Now, in a What map first, something really weird. Have a look at this. Mass transit roads. What the is going on here? I've never seen that before. Not in a map. What map for? I'd no idea. Well, we are going to go back and check later on because the map has only just started up, and maybe it's start of map confused traffic, maybe. So we'll go back in the second half of the show to see whether that has sorted itself out. Intersections, all very smart and sleek and slick today. And intersection marking tool, I should say, is in operation as well. It could be slightly sharper. I mean, the lines don't quite join up, and the thicknesses could be adjusted. Maybe the colour of the lines could be just like slightly less vibrant, possibly. It's very close to being perfect in terms of intersection marking tool. It's good. Shall we say it's very good standards. But there are little things that we can point at and go, you could do slightly better there. And so I'm going to point them out and just say that. I'm not in a sweat over these things at all. And again, of course, if you don't have intersection marking tool, then that doesn't matter. These intersections will just be regular vanilla unmarked. And a no controller won't be there making the merge lanes as slick as they are, because they're pretty slick. Again, minor grumbles. I'll pick one out in a minute to show you what I mean in terms of minor grumbles, but they are only little ones. I think this is the start square. I think I've lost track. It doesn't matter really. Anywhere around here is going to give you a really good start location, but I think that's the start square intersection right there. Just lost track of where we are. Anyway, trees. The tree mix today is very nice as well. And then just to go to the next level, we have sunken highways as well. That loops off to the right. Show you under here. This is all very polished and very slick as well. It's lots of slickness going on today. And then you have this. We're talking about just a little bit of a janky going on there. Jinkies to the left, jankies to the right. A little bit of a janky, which I can fix with Move It. If I grab Move It, node segments, there we go. And just drag that in, bend it in that way. Now this is a very quick fix. Again, I would spend a bit more time on it than I've just done there, because it doesn't quite feel connected properly there. But again, it's just, there are just little things like that, very tiny things like that, and it's not just that one. And then we go into a tunnel. Now you may say, no, a road wouldn't have gone through there. I can imagine that's going to be a big city build around this area. So going into a tunnel there, I can close my eyes and imagine why it would. But yeah, I think in real terms we would have gone around and stuck to the ground. Anyway, we're going to head this way. It looks a more interesting route going straight on. But given that we've got all of this buildable space around here, I just want to show you this. Plus the fact that we've got the express lanes running down the middle, fast tracking the vehicles to not this intersection, but the next one. So that's just a nice little touch, a very nice little touch. Something that we don't see very often. In fact, we hardly ever see at all. Very often is or even an overstatement, I guess. I'll just show you again. Lane mathematics, 3 down to 2, back up to 3. Nicely done. Lots of good quality on today's map. So when I do pick out the tiny little things, they are all tiny little things. I'm not a beast. I'm not a beast. They're just talking. Remember, this is not just an educational show. It's supposed to be entertaining as well. It's supposed to be me going, oh, look at the silly thing that happened here. Because we're all capable of doing it. If you've seen my work, you'll know that I'm very capable of doing this myself in terms of the silly work. Some of the standards here I would struggle to do. We do have a pillar on the highway there. That one has slipped through, I feel. But again, that in itself on this map is a rarity. Now we have a big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. And there she is. Very nicely done. Nice choice of bridge as well. Feel it works very nicely with the map that we're looking at. So sometimes you can see these choices of bridges and you go, I don't really get it. It doesn't feel, that one feels right. That one feels absolutely right. Anyway, off towards the edge of the map. So let's have a look at one of the rail routes. There are a few. There was one actually down where we were, but I thought we'd come in this way and we'd sort of like cut across, because I wanted to take you up into the mountains and show you that even on a mountain map like this, with a first time map maker like this, we've got a rail route which you may say that this here is just a little bit steeper than realistic. It may be, but I think within the tolerances of Cities Skylines, you'd have to actually have a proper look at that to see that it is too steep. And I'm okay with that one. If you can eyeball check it, if it looks okay to the eye, then that's good. Occasionally, though, like I say, we'll see. There's a map coming up this week where it's mostly very good, and then there's one little moment. I've already recorded that show, slightly ahead on the recording for that show. But yeah, there's one little moment where the rail just dips away and then comes back up again. But we're not going to see any of that here because the standards are really very nice indeed. Again, going through the mountains, this is a mountainous part of the map, and it just feels pretty much level. It's outstanding. It is outstanding. Probably the best part of the map, I feel, is the rail on this way. And the route, again, there's a couple of routes on this map. I chose this one just because I wanted to show you up into the hills. We have a slight encroaching. Did you see the encroaching tree there on the branch line? Did you? just a little one. There are one or two naughty trees, but again, out of 330,000 trees on the map, having one or two slip through onto the rail and possibly onto the roads, which we might see in the second half of the show if there are any. Well, again, it's just one click of the bulldozer, isn't it? It's not a big deal. It's only detailing score. Yeah, the most important score, of course, is gameplay. And surely, if a map's like a 3 for aesthetics, a 3 for detail, but a 5 for gameplay, that's more important than if you've got a map that's 5 aesthetics, but 3 for detail and 3 for gameplay. Surely, you have a beautiful map, but sometimes a map can be a work of art, and you can say, yeah, do you know what? I think that map is amazing because it's a work of art, but I couldn't play on it. On this one, though, I would say it looks really good. The standards are very, very nearly there in terms of detailing, and it's very playable as well. First map, I'm right on board with this one. Possibly not the pillar in the middle of the river there, but don't tell anybody. Right, quick intermission. We'll come right back after this.
Want to add a custom hedge maze to your park but don't have the time to build one? Why not try BonBonB's modular hedge maze set? This guide will show you how to select and use the right units. Click the information button below.
And back to Westport. Should be West Point. By Zimmy. No, it shouldn't be. Westport's a good name. Right, okay, we've got a sharp angle here, which if you've got any ships coming in from the edge of the map down on our right now, and you put a harbour up in that area, you're going to get a little bit of sharp bending there. Although, I'm not sure why you'd want to put a harbour up there. However, if you put a harbour on the right now, any ships going off to our left now are going to, have to do a sharp turn as well. So there are a few possibility choke points in terms of ships doing silly things. It's up to you to not let that happen. We've got water coming from the reservoir there. We've got some pre-built pipes already in place, which is going to take us down to the start square, which I thought was there. And looking at it, actually, no, it's here. There you go. There's your start square, water, just the edges in there. And you've got this river to pump your sewage out into. There's not really much motion, but once you start pumping sewage in, there will be. Oh, there will be. Okay, map as a whole. Oh, wow, there's so much going on with this one. First of all, loving the fields. We've got a really good theme mix as well. Fields are a real little patchwork. Yes, a bit of field painting going on there. But it looks absolutely amazing. Realistic, probably not quite, but again, I think the aesthetics works perfectly for the map. As do the mountains. You say, oh, I wouldn't get these many mountains in such a small area. No, you wouldn't, but I think aesthetically it scales beautifully on this map. Heading down here, we have got a water feature. Yes, it's the Essential Lighthouse. Ah, isn't she lovely? For the BonBonBingo players, links in the description as always. We have got a couple of naughty trees down here going for a little swim without permission. They do have their trunks on. Wah, 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 wah. Yes, the old jokes, the old memes, they are still active. They're still active. And then if we head over this way, hang on, what was next? What was next? I was going to have a look at the harbour, pre-cut harbours. Loving the shapes down here. There is one tiny, weeny point losing error, and that is, yes, this one's a drowned tree. These aren't wearing trunks. These are scuba gear trees. These ones. Anyway, good thing they got roots because they'd be floating otherwise. Anyway, then we have we're gonna have a look at a lot of rivers. The river at the bottom end down here is a little bit struggly. It just is struggling a little bit at the bottom. Then when you get to about this point, the river feels very nice indeed. It's a little bit canyon-esque, a little bit chiseled away. So you might say you'd like to see a little bit softer, which I would agree with. A little bit softer would be nice. But as rivers go, from that point to this point is all very good. Then it starts to struggle again from about here. Barely enough water coming through. Probably because that's a little bit of a tight waterfall going on there. The water's struggling to push through. We have another canyon going on. And at the top, as water sources go, this is a fairly good one. I'm liking the lake in that location. So that's a win. That river is a win. Right, that's that river done. Next one. This is a lazier river, a small sleepy river, wide, slow flowing. Some trees trying to encroach into the water a little bit there. They're not too bad. If that was the only thing on the map, I'd completely ignore it. So yeah, because you do get trees in the rivers. You do. Just I have to believe in them, of course. Then the waterfalls up here are a bit clunky. Waterfalls are difficult in-game to do, and these are really struggling to do what they're trying to do. Not the best waterfalls. And then you get the river that comes up to this spawn point, which actually has 2 exit points. One going down into the river in the middle of the map, one going off that way. Now, I feel if that was cut off there, maybe we get more water going down here, meaning that maybe, I don't think it would solve it on its own, but maybe we'd have enough water there to deal with the problem. It's a bit stop-start. Then we get this river here, which I'm liking the design of this. Yeah, it diverges there, but who's not to say that it doesn't come back together? Maybe it's part of a delta, maybe. Then up here, we've got the dam. Loving the design of the dam and the rock work around here. But the water, again, just feels like it's struggling a little bit. It just looks a bit awkward, the way that the water is working there. Don't mind the old slip ramp there. What's the word of it? Slipway? Is that slipway? I can't remember the term. Been years since I've been to a dam. Loving the reservoir. Big reservoir. Breaking into a lovely big building space here. I'm liking all of this. Then we get this river which feels canyonized at a point where it feels it should be quite level and soft. Canyon here, I could probably buy into this. But the spawn points up there, that feels like a fail to me there. Then we have, again, there's another spawn point there. All spawn points are a little bit failure-y, apart from the one at the top here, which I think this is the definitive good spawn point. It just feels like wetland. I reckon that works at the top, but a lot of the other ones just feel a little bit awkward. But anyway, we have a couple of other feature areas. We'll take in this one. Dirt track that follows up these, doesn't actually connect with the highways, but it doesn't matter. It's, we've got encroaching trees on this dirt track, which again, if you're playing with Anarchy, you can switch that off, switch it on, just hide them away. But they are part of the tree count. But there are so few trees that are doing this that it won't make any difference to the tree count, to be fair. And at the top here, observatories. And I like the look of that. I don't know how accurate it is, but I like the look of it. Also, I like the look of this jackass lake. Why am I calling it a jackass lake? Am I being rude to Zimmy? No, look. This looks like a jackass from that angle. In my opinion. So, yeah, Jackass Lake, that is now called in my naming duties. Back down to the start square, and we have got this asset. It's one asset. It's Sheraton Hotel's Zhanjiang by XDBX. Now, when I loaded up the map, I didn't have prop snapping active, so I couldn't put this together. But it's all the constituent parts of the asset to make yourself the hotels. And you've got like 2 different sizes of things, and it all patches together. But yeah, I couldn't do it for you. But you can see the parts, so you can imagine how it would go together. And factoids, because factoids. According to the Guinness World Records, the first person to be charged with speeding was Walter Arnold of the English village of Paddock Wood, Kent. Been there. On January the 28th, 1896, Arnold was spotted going 4 times the speed limit in his 19th century Benz. But since the speed limit at the time was just 2 miles per hour, it was going way too fast by those standards. The constable had to chase him down on his bicycle, issuing him a ticket for £4 and 7 shillings. £4, 7 shillings. Wow. Anyway, yeah, bad boy Walter Arnold going 80 mile an hour. 8 mile an hour. Sheraton Hotels Zhanjiang by XDBX, today's asset of the day. Yeah, sorry I didn't put that together for you. I just didn't know I was going to need. Oh, we said it was going to come back here. Let's have a quick look here. Now, The simulation has been running for a while now. We are months on. All the traffic has... So, it looks like it's a permanent thing. That's very weird. I don't have an answer. I don't know what's caused it. I'm clueless. I've never seen it. What are they doing? Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Let's get on to the important stuff. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. Take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I think Zimmy has done an outstanding job here. We've got a really good theme mix, a really good design of the map. Design of the map always counts for a lot. And I can't really find anything I don't like about it. Yeah, the rivers could be slightly more polished, but I'm going to talk about that in detailing. Overall, I'm giving 5 stars for aesthetics here. Detailing, yeah, we've got a few talking points. Few trees under the roads, pillar under the road, drowned trees. All of this said, though, it is still very clearly a 4-star map. I'm going to have to go towards the lower end of 4 stars for it because there are a few little talking points on this one. Gameplay, do you know what? If I didn't have to fix the rivers, this would be 5 stars, but I feel that I would have to fix the rivers. Plus, what the hell are the drivers doing? I'm going to have to change that road as well if I play this map. But yeah, high 4 for me. Very nice work. Westport by Zimmy. Zimmy. I am very, very impressed. Definitely getting a BonBonB seal of approval. There was never any question. Never any question. Unless there was something broken. And there's nothing broken. So, yeah, you're in there. You're established. Take your time with the next map. Like you did with that one. Take your time. And I can't wait to see it. I really can't. Anyway, got to hand it to Zimmy. He's done a good job, haven't they? They've done a very good job. Anyway, made it to the end of the show. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day into the comments. Score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.